only thing we have to fear is
in war,
fear itself.
There is no substitute for victory.
Let us never negotiate out of fear.
We stand undivided, forever united, fighting hand in hand for the liberty we've earned, for glory and honor, for our sons and daughters, ever mindful of the lessons we've learned. Let the torch of freedom burn.
You found your way to the intersection of faith and politics. WallBuilders Live with David Barton and Rick Green. Thank you for joining us today. Visit online at wallbuilders.com and wallbuilderslive.com. One of the things that WallBuilders has been doing for a long time, David Barton helped me start this, over a decade ago. I'm aging myself here. But it's called Patriot Academy, and the goal is to raise up a generation of young people, young leaders that understand the times and know what to do, just like those men of Issachar. That means they have the right worldview, but they know how to go out there and win. One of those Patriot Academy graduates that definitely fits that definition and that description is a young man by the name of Josh Renfroe. And last year at Patriot Academy, he was elected to be Speaker of the House for Patriot Academy 2014. He's with us now. Speaker Renfroe, thanks for coming on, sir.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Green.
Hey, man, you've been, you've been to Patriot Academy how many times now? Two or three? Three times. So your fourth time, you'll actually be serving as Speaker of the House and running the House chamber right there on the Texas floor. This is not some classroom simulation, man. You're out there on the real floor.
It is. It's a really exciting experience just to be out on the actual floor where actual lawmakers make critical decisions that affect each and every one of our lives, and it's an incredible honor to be able to do that for a week.
How old are you now, Josh?
I'm 24.
24. So you've paid attention to politics for a while. You've watched the real system. How similar is Patriot Academy when you're attending that week at the state capitol to what you've seen of a real legislative session?
Sure. It's about as accurate as you can possibly get with the time constraints that we have. It's incredibly, the floor procedures are applied very strictly, and students have to go in compliance with those. As the speaker, I'll have to act as a normal speaker would using the House rules. We'll have a House parliamentarian that'll be helping me with that. So it's about as close as you can get with the time constraints that we have in a week's time.
And you even get to slam that real gavel, right?
I do. I'm looking forward to that.
You're a big guy now. Let's not be, shattering the gavel as you're slamming. Okay, so why would a student, someone 16 to 25 years old, why would they want to do that? I mean, when you describe that as it's just like the real deal and you got to follow the procedures, I mean, why would you want to go through that political process as a young leader?
There's several reasons. The first is if there's so many young people today who really see America in the shape that we're in right now and really desire to have an impact and desire to get involved in politics. So for students 16 to 25 who see themselves as potentially going into the political realm, I can't think of a better way of being involved. I've had plenty of friends that have been involved in Team PAC and other forms of organizational government, but Patriot Academy offers a number of things that a lot of other organizations just don't offer. The fact that the experience is so incredibly real really gives students a taste of what the actual government process is like. And you really can't truly understand everything that goes on in the governmental process until you really see how the nuts and bolts work as well. The necessity to compromise in certain circumstances while still guarding your key core principles. There's just some of the few lessons that you can learn while going out there on the floor. Another reason is students have made great connections with other fellow students who wanted to make change and to be, as you said, the sons of Issachar who are leading the way in change, but also make good connections for potential internships and things of that nature. So in both ways, it's an invaluable experience.
And you mentioned some great programs out there, Teen PAC. There's other with City on a Hill. There's a lot of great programs out there for younger students, and we actually partner with a lot of those groups because it's almost like a graduate school for those folks that have gone through those programs as well. And we look for our applicants to have some of that experience. It's always good. This takes them really to that next level in terms of not only the process itself. What about the skills training in terms of you guys, when you go through that week, you also get a pretty good boot camp in speaking and rapport skills and people skills?
Absolutely. So there's a number of really good lectures that we get to hear. One of them is on, or actually several of them are on communication. You give an incredible one on that, as well as Thomas Umstead. Both of those are two of the most incredible presentations on communication I've ever heard, and I've heard a lot of them. I was in competitive speech and debate for 3 years. I actually coach competitive speech and debate students currently, and those two talks that I heard on communication, actually 3 or 4 talks that I heard on communication, were some of the best that I've heard, bar none. And so that's worth the price of admission, just right there. In addition to just also getting to hear great speakers like David Barton, others who really help teach us the core of the Constitution and some of those basic principles.
Let me ask you about your attitude towards the nation and the future, and how Patriot Academy has impacted that positively or negatively. I mean, like you said early in the interview, when you look at what's happening in the country, there's a lot of bad happening in the country, frankly. And it's easy for us as people that love the Constitution and the biblical foundations of America to frankly get depressed and say, forget it, and I'm not going to be involved at all. What does Patriot Academy do for young people like yourself in terms of kind of taking that frustration and giving you a way to be involved, that anger, and turning it into action? Sure.
That's a really good question. When I first came to Patriot Academy, I'd been encouraged by a fellow student who had gone, and I was actually going through a cycle of what I would call political defeatism, which is I really didn't feel that I could have a major impact. I thought America had already had so much turmoil and problems that were currently existing that I didn't feel like I could really have any meaningful impact. And over the last 2 to 3 years that I've been at Patriot Academy, my view has definitely altered. The direction, the sense of direction that a student gets coming out of Patriot Academy, the tools that they are equipped with, and the number of different ways that they can plug in that they find afterwards really allowed me, and the frustration that I had, to really plug into the local and state efforts and federal efforts to really help change our nation. And I think it's key. One of the big keys is first having older men and mentors like yourself there who've shown that you've been in the fight for a long period of time. This isn't just a one-day battle, but also seeing that there are other young people like ourselves who desire to make that change.
Did you just call me old? I think you just called me old.
Older. It's merely a comparative term.
Well, and that second part that you just mentioned was actually going to be my next question for you. What about as you look at your colleagues and you see all these other young people that are passionate about the country and talented and able to articulate the message, how much hope did that give you for our future?
It gives me a lot of hope because during the week that I'm there, I get the chance to see these people in action and a chance to see them in really some high stress situations. And I'm so grateful to see these young people going in and looking to serve. So many of them have served with state house reps, state senators. Some are currently running for election, some of the older ones, and a lot of them are helping on the campaign trail as well. And so it's really an encouragement to me because those are the caliber of people that I want to see in this next generation taking the lead in our government, state, local, and federal.
Well, Josh, you're a great example of that, and we're excited about you and your future. Very excited about this summer and Patriot Academy and your leadership that you're going to provide to those students and the mentorship that you provide as a senior Patriot Academy alumni coming back and serving as speaker. So I can't tell you how excited I am about everything, man. I appreciate your time today and sharing with our listeners across the country about Patriot Academy, and look forward to spending some time with you this summer.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
That's Speaker of the House for Patriot Academy 2014, Josh Renfroe. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the governor of Patriot Academy as well. So for more information in the meantime, you can visit WallBuildersLive.com or PatriotAcademy.com. Applications right there on the website if you want to learn more about how to get involved in Patriot Academy and make a difference. If you want to learn more about what we do at Patriot Academy, it's all there on the website, so visit that. We'll be back in a moment right here on WallBuilders Live. Hey friends, Rick Green. You're about to hear from some students at Patriot Academy this last summer from all over the country. I encourage you to visit PatriotAcademy.com. Right on the homepage there, a video is going to start playing. It's just 60 seconds. You're about to hear the audio from that video, but you're really going to want to watch the video and share it with your friends and family. We are so excited about what God's doing with the next generation.
I have a destiny.
Freedom isn't just for politicians.
It's meant for each of us.
To play a role.
To be significant.
To be significant.
To live with purpose. My life has meaning.
I have a destiny.
Who am I? Does it matter? I was given one life.
If not us, then who?
If not now, when?
Let's change the world.
People say you can't change the world because you're young or inexperienced.
Because you aren't ready.
But I'm training every single day, and I have a voice. I will give this life everything I've got.
Because I am a champion.
We all have one life to give.
I am a patriot, and I have a destiny.
We're training up a generation of champions to change the world. Hope that you will help us and that you'll spread the word and let others know about it. Visit today, patriotacademy.com.
Let the torch of freedom burn.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us here on WallBuilders Live. We appreciate Josh Renfroe for spending a little bit of time with us today talking about Patriot Academy coming up this summer. You can find out more at patriotacademy.com. In fact, when you go on that website, there's some fantastic videos that tell the story of Patriot Academy. One of the major stars in those videos, one of our great graduates and now governor of Patriot Academy 2014, is with us now. Alyse Ullery. Governor, good to have you on.
It's good to be here, Rick.
So I want to get your story. We're talking about why people should consider attending something like Patriot Academy, talking about the hope that it gives your generation, and frankly my generation too, because we see such outstanding leaders like yourself. Tell us about your Patriot Academy journey. You came the first time, 6 years ago?
Yes, it's about 6 years ago now. I was 16. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing with my life. I knew I really enjoyed public speaking. I enjoyed politics. I was involved in a pro-life group at my school. But other than that, I was kind of lost. I heard about Patriot Academy through a friend of mine at school and came for my first year not knowing what to expect, and it completely changed my life. It showed me exactly what God wanted me to do with my life. It gave me a direction. And 6 years later, I'm an honors government major at the University of Texas. I've worked in the Capitol. I am interning with a political consulting firm now, all because Patriot Academy gave me those leadership skills, gave me that passion for really protecting the future of our country for my generation.
So how did that happen? I mean, what was kind of the epiphany, I guess, for you? Was it one major moment at one of the academies you went to, or was it a build-up? I mean, how did you find inspiration for what you wanted to do?
I think the moment for me was the first day we did debate on the House floor, my very first year. I walked into that room and I listened to these students who were my age or younger, debating about issues that I had never even had a chance to think about. And as I listened to them and I sat there, I was just overwhelmed with the history and the importance of these issues that are going to directly affect me, but that I had never even bothered to think about. And it just kind of hit me that this is so important, but my generation is really, kind of unaware of what's happening, and we need to be more involved so that we can step up and really take control of the future of our country.
Now, was it different for you partly because of who was making the arguments and talking about the issues, that they were actually your age? Because you went to a great school, you go to a good college. I mean, you hear adults talk about this stuff, older people talk about this, but was that part of it? Was that it was your peers that were actually passionate and educated about these issues?
Yeah, it really was. It was seeing that someone my age could actually have a voice that was articulate and intelligent and could say something that mattered, and have other people listen and be inspired by it. And I realized that can be me. I can be that for someone else. And then that other person can inspire someone else. And it just continues and it spreads.
How much has your perspective on the future of the country changed as a result of going to Patriot Academy? I don't know if you were, when you first came, if you felt as concerned as people feel today. A lot's happened in the last 6 years.
Oh, yeah.
But when you talk to your colleagues and your friends and people in your life, and maybe they're very concerned about where we're headed. How is your perspective? Is it a little more positive because of what you see with Patriot Academy, and are you able to give those people hope?
Oh, absolutely. I spent a lot of time talking with my professors, my TAs, the adults in my life, and a common theme that I've heard over the years and that I heard before Patriot Academy as well is, youth today, kids these days, they don't know what they're doing, they don't care. I have so much more hope seeing how kids my age and younger actually are passionate, and we can be there and ready to change the future and willing to take that torch and just push forward with this country. I have so much more hope now, and that's exactly what I tell my friends whenever I talk about Patriot Academy is there is something that you can do, and there is a way to become a better leader so that someday we can continue the great traditions that our founding fathers had planned for this country.
Now, it would be one thing to go to, a camp or a retreat or something and get fired up and get excited. It's another thing to take that home and actually do something with it, like you have. How has Patriot Academy helped you plug in and actually take that knowledge and that inspiration and that fire and be able to go actually do something with it?
And I'll tell you, I did girls' camp. Or I don't know if you're familiar with that. But the girls' state, it's the camp that is kind of like boys' state, the government camp. I did that. And, one of the biggest differences that I have to say is the relationships that you form with the people around you. Those other camps, they're nothing like Patriot Academy because they don't provide you with long-lasting relationships and mentors like Patriot Academy does. I have so many people that I can go to if I need help finding an internship, if I need help just with prayer or something personal in my life, who can inspire me and motivate me and keep me motivated throughout the year until I get to the next Patriot Academy. And that's really one of the defining factors that makes Patriot Academy so different.
Last question for you, Governor. Now, how different is it for you now, and how much do you like now being in the role of, instead of the one being mentored, you're now the one mentoring? It's a big part of what we do is you come for several years and you learn and you absorb and it impacts you, but now you're on the other side of that. You're the one helping to mentor and train and pass that torch to the ones coming up behind you.
Right. It's kind of strange thinking about it that way because I think no matter how old I get, I'm going to always feel like the people who were before me are still my mentors, and I'm still the one desperately trying to absorb new information. But it's just encouraging to see that the things that have been passed on to me by you, by Josh Renfroe, who I hear that these people had just listened to, that I'll pass that on to students who are coming up behind me and really just try and set a good example and always keep them motivated and encouraged, pray for them, be them what my predecessors were to me.
Well, Governor, we are looking forward to 2014 Patriot Academy with you at the helm and looking forward to a great summit, an opportunity to impact lives and preserve and pass the torch of freedom. Alyse Ullery, thank you for your time.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
Stay with us, folks. We'll be back in a moment on WallBuilders Live. Hey friends, this is Rick Green, and I want to share with you a phenomenal opportunity for your family. David Barton and I both have family members experiencing this right now. It's called College Plus, and it is the best program out there for saving your family a tremendous amount of money on college education for your children, but more importantly, years of their life and getting them in touch with their purpose, their greatest calling that God has on their life right now. And this is not some mail-order college degree, folks. I'm talking about getting your degree from places like Liberty University or Concordia University or Bryan College, I mean, great colleges and universities, and other ones as well. My son Trey's doing it right now at only 16 years old. He's already a sophomore in college. It's been a phenomenal experience for our family. No age requirements, folks. You can do College Plus as well, regardless of your age. You got to check it out right now at WallBuildersLive.com.
Let the torch of freedom burn.
Welcome back to WallBuilders Live with David Barton and Rick Green. Thanks for staying with us. We're talking about Patriot Academy. It's coming up quick in 2014. In fact, now is the time to get online at patriotacademy.com and get those applications in if you want that early bird special. With us now is the Lieutenant Governor of Patriot Academy for 2014, Brianna Pradia. Good to have you on, Governor.
Thank you so much for having me, sir.
Well, obviously have enjoyed having you at Patriot Academy the last few years and thrilled to see you in leadership this year. How many times have you been to Patriot Academy so far?
I have been to Patriot Academy, Texas 3 times, and I also went to Arizona for the first ever regional academy there.
And that was a great opportunity for you to actually kind of, switch roles a little bit. Now, instead of being mentored, you were the one mentoring other young people that were coming into Patriot Academy. How cool was that?
Yes, sir. That was absolutely amazing. A lot of time to get to just see the light bulb come on to some of the young people's faces as they started to really connect conservative principles. So it was awesome.
Now, did that have anything to do with you deciding to run for lieutenant governor as you got to see the opportunity to mentor? It got you excited and you decided you wanted to be in a leadership position to help pass on the torch?
That was actually a little bit more some of the mentors that I had at Patriot Academy who really encouraged me. It wasn't something that I looked up and thought, oh, you know what, I'd really like to do that. But
So you got drafted is what you're telling me.
Yes, sir, I did.
That's usually the best leaders, the ones you have to draft in.
Yes, sir.
Well, we're proud of you. So tell me about Patriot Academy, your experience in a nutshell, just from the first time you came. What was your kind of outlook on the world at the time, and did Patriot Academy change that or give you more hope for the future?
Well, I was kind of drafted to my first time coming to Patriot Academy as well. My brother wanted to go, and he wanted me to go with him. So I wasn't really going into it looking for a position to fill, looking for an office to run for. But it's really given me a lot of a bigger picture of what I need to be doing as a citizen, even if I don't intend to be governor someday or really want to be involved in the political arena.
But that's an important distinction. I'm really glad you said that, because a lot of people sometimes they'll hear about Patriot Academy and they think, well, it's only for those that think they want to run for office someday. And
Yes,
and you've always told me that's not you, that's not what you want to do, but you do want to be a good citizen.
Yes, sir. And that's really given me an opportunity to know better how to be a citizen, how to mentor other young people, how to encourage other people to really understand the principles behind the people they're voting for and the principles behind the different things that are going on around them in the world.
It's interesting you mentioned that too, because it sounds like it may have affected your process as you choose who you're going to vote for.
Yes, sir. It really honed my principles. I came from a very strong conservative household, so it wasn't a radical shift, but it really did help me to hone, okay, so why do I believe this, and why is this better? How exactly does this work? What are some examples of how these things have worked? So
I love it. So what would you say to other young people that are out there listening that might fall into our age range, 16 to 25, or even the adults that come on the citizen track, the over 25 track? I mean, what would you say to them about Patriot Academy that might answer some questions they have of whether or not it's worth a week of their life to invest in something like this?
Patriot Academy will definitely stretch you a little bit farther maybe than you'd planned to be stretched, but it will definitely expand your outlook on politics. It's a strong conservative program, so you're not going to be learning a bunch of stuff you're going to have to try and forget. But it will definitely help you to grow in your understanding of politics, and your understanding of people, and there are definitely a lot of amazing people there who will be great friendships as well, mentorship opportunities, and opportunities to be mentored as well.
How about the future itself? Have you got a little bit more optimistic outlook of where things can go if young people like the ones you've served with at Patriot Academy do their part?
Absolutely. I've definitely met a lot of young people that I feel like I'll have somebody to vote for as the days go on, and gotten to know a lot of elected officials there. Mr. Krause, Matt Krause, who has come and helped out a lot at Patriot Academy, invested in my brother and such, and also just seeing the investment and the growth in my brother, who does have an interest in a future in politics, just to be able to see that he will be equipped and he'll have the tools and the people around him he needs to be successful at that.
Brianna, we're so looking forward to this summer with you. I'm glad you ran for office. I'm glad you have an opportunity to serve in that position, and just so glad to have you back at Patriot Academy and be one of those that is mentoring this next generation coming up. I can't tell you how much hope it gives my generation to see young people like you so passionate and articulate and excited about the future and with a servant's heart. I think that's one of the things that really stands out with you guys is it's not about ego. It's not about I want my name in lights. I think people can tell just by listening to you right now, and I know they can when they get a chance to meet you, that you have very much a servant's heart and you just want to do your part to preserve freedom. So you give a lot of us hope, and we appreciate that.
Thank you, sir, and thank you so much for this opportunity that you've given me to really serve and learn a lot.
Well, we appreciate you coming on the program today, too, Brianna. Thanks for your time.
Have a good evening, sir.
That's the Lieutenant Governor of Patriot Academy 2014, Brianna Pradia. We appreciate you listening today. Thanks to all of our guests for sharing today a little bit about Patriot Academy. You can find out more at the website, patriotacademy.com. If you want to learn a lot more, you can click on the link there for the media kit. It's got some videos that you can watch and learn more about what actually happens on the House floor and in committee and throughout the week. A little bit about the vision of where we're headed and why we're doing Patriot Academy, what we hope to see with this next generation, and also some of the impact that it's having across the nation, the expanded regional academies that are going to happen throughout the nation. We're bringing one close to you wherever you are in America. But we'd obviously love for you to come after you've been to Patriot Academy once at a regional academy to the Alumni Academy in Texas as well. There's a lot of good things happening, folks. God is raising up a remnant, these incredible sons and daughters of Issachar that understand the times and know what to do. Thanks for listening today to WallBuilders Live with David Barton and Rick Green.
We stand undivided, forever united, fighting hand in hand for the liberty.
One of the things that WallBuilders has been doing for a long time, David Barton helped me start this, over a decade ago. I'm aging myself here. But it's called Patriot Academy, and the goal is to raise up a generation of young people, young leaders that understand the times and know what to do, just like those men of Issachar. That means they have the right worldview, but they know how to go out there and win. One of those Patriot Academy graduates that definitely fits that definition and that description is a young man by the name of Josh Renfroe, and last year at Patriot Academy, he was elected to be Speaker of the House for Patriot Academy 2014. He's with us now. Speaker Renfroe, thanks for coming on, sir.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Green.
Hey, man, you've been, you've been to Patriot Academy how many times now? 3? 2 or 3?
3.
3 times. So your fourth time, you'll actually be serving as Speaker of the House and running the House chamber right there on the Texas floor. This is not some classroom simulation, man. You're out there on the real floor.
It is. It's a really exciting experience just to be out on the actual floor where actual lawmakers make critical decisions that affect each and every one of our lives, and it's an incredible honor to be able to do that for a week.
How old are you now, Josh?
I'm 24.
24. So you've paid attention to politics for a while. You've watched the real system. How similar is Patriot Academy when you're attending that week at the state capitol to what you've seen of a real legislative session?
Sure. It's about as accurate as you can possibly get with the time constraints that we have. It's incredibly, the floor procedures are applied very strictly, and students have to go in compliance with those. As the speaker, I'll have to act as a normal speaker would using the House rules. We'll have a House parliamentarian that'll be helping me with that. So it's about as close as you can get with the time constraints that we have in a week's time.
And you even get to slam that real gavel, right?
I do. I'm looking forward to that.
The only thing we have to fear is
in war,
fear itself.
there is no substitute for victory.
Let us never negotiate out of fear.
We stand undivided, forever united, fighting hand in hand for the liberty we've earned, for glory and honor, for our sons and daughters, ever mindful of the lessons we've learned. Let the torch of freedom burn.
You found your way to the intersection of faith and politics. WallBuilders Live with David Barton and Rick Green. Thank you for joining us today. Visit online at WallBuilders.com and WallBuildersLive.com.
Really gives students a taste of what the actual government process is like. And you really can't truly understand everything that goes on in the governmental process until you really see how the nuts and bolts work as well. The necessity to compromise in certain circumstances while still guarding your key core principles. There's just some of the few lessons that you can learn while going out there on the floor. Another reason is students have made great connections with other fellow students who wanted to make change and to be, as you said, the sons of Issachar who are leading the way in change, but also made good connections for potential internships and things of that nature. So in both ways, it's an invaluable experience.
You know, and you mentioned some great programs out there, Teen Pack. There's other with City on a Hill. There's a lot of great programs out there for younger students, and we actually partner with a lot of those groups because this is almost like a grad. You're a big guy now. Let's not be, shattering the gavel as you're slamming. Okay, so why would a student, someone 16 to 25 years old, why would they want to do that? I mean, when you describe that as it's just like the real deal and you got to follow the procedures, I mean, why would you want to go through that political process as a young leader?
There's several reasons. The first is if there's so many young people today who really see America in the shape that we're in right now and really desire to have an impact and desire to get involved in politics. So for students 16 to 25 who see themselves as potentially going into the political realm, I can't think of a better way of being involved. I've had plenty of friends that have been involved in Teen Packs and other forms of organizational government, but Patriot Academy offers a number of things that a lot of other organizations just don't offer. The fact that the experience is so incredibly real